Hi, I'm Sharon. Welcome to my theory tuition series where we're working together step by step through each of the ABRSM theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. You can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials. And you can also access information about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time when you're actually working through your paper on exam day. And so if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super. And please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more in the pipeline. And now we're going to look at the last question on this paper B of the 2014 grade 2 papers. So if you turn with me to page 9, and we'll have a look at this last question, question number 8. And so all of the questions on this page relate back to this little extract of music here. And this also shows us how the exam format has changed. So from 2018 onwards, the new layout of the paper will show all of these musical terms and performance signs in multiple choice options. However, I do suggest that you just go ahead and give these their full definitions just because that's a really good revision tool. So we'll just crack on and answer these as they're written here just because it's really good practice to do that. It'll help you to learn these more thoroughly. I always suggest that you have a go of this on your own first of all. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. It doesn't matter if you go wrong, you can just always erase that out. So always work in pencil even on exam day and then you can just rub out and have another go. So I'm hoping you've had a go of this and so we'll look at this together now. So the first part of the question is to give these their meanings. So let's go ahead and give these their definitions. So let's just check these through. So Adagio is your tempo direction, that means slow. Molto means much, or I suppose you could say very. Sostenuto is sustained. Now here we asked about the number 2 and the time signature 2/4. So the top number tells us how many beats per bar. We first came across this in grade 1, and so this top number tells us that there are 2 beats per bar. And then P is short for piano, which means quiet or soft. So that's your dynamic marking. So there we go, that's those done. So now let's move on to the next question. So again, we'll be relating back to the music at the top of the page. So we're told that the key is B flat major for this melody. And we can see here we've got a key signature of 2 flats. We're in B flat major. It could also be G minor, but we're told that we're in B flat major. So then we need to give the number of a bar that contains all of the notes of the tonic triad in this key. Now before we go looking for it, let's just think what we're looking for. The tonic triad is built of the 1st, the 3rd and the 5th degrees of the scale. So the 1st is B, of course it would be B flat, but your key signature is taking care of that, so we won't worry about that. So B, C, D is the 3rd, E, F is the 5th. So we're looking for a bar that's got all of these notes, B, D, F. It may not be in that order, but so long as all of those 3 notes are present and correct, we can name that bar. So let's just scan through. So bar 1 has an F and a B, B flat of course, but the key signature deals with that. But there's no D, so that won't do. We have a D here, but no B or F. We have an F and a B here, but no D, so that won't do. We have a D here several times, but no other parts of the tonic triad, so that won't do. Let's keep looking. So we have a D here, an F here, and F, G, A, B here. Of course it's B flat. So there, bar 5, we have our tonic triad. So we got there in the end. Just keep looking till you find it. But bar 5 is the answer for that. Now we're asked to name the degree of the scale. Oh, say that again. The degree of the scale of the first note of the melody. Remember that the key is B flat major, so B flat is the first. So if we're counting from B flat here, there's our every good boy. 1, 2. We must always count B as 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the 5th, and actually we already know that because we've already worked out that F is the 5th from this tonic triad. So we can say with a surety that that's the 5th degree of the scale. So now just a little bit of glancing through. We've got to find the shortest rest in the melody and give it its proper name. So we have a crotchet, a 1 beat rest here, or a quarter note, but this one is shorter. That's the shortest here. So that's a quaver rest or an 8th note rest. Either one of those will do, depending which terminology you're used to using. So we'd either say a quaver or 8th. Oh, I always spell that wrong. There's a H there, isn't there? Silly me. G-H-T-H. 8th note, there we go. Either one of those will do. Now just a little bit of glancing through here. We've got to find out bars 2 and 3 have the same notes and rhythm as which 2 bars. So we're looking for an exact repetition of bars 2 and 3. And we can do that just visually, really. So these are nothing like. However, here we can just see, and we can see that's the same ledger line A, E, D, G, and quavers or 8th notes. F, C, B, C. So bar 6 and 7 is the answer there. Just a quick scan, and that will soon become apparent. So then we need to underline one of these words to describe how we think bars 3 to 4 should be played. So is it smooth or is it detached? So bars 3 to 4, we're looking here, and so these are the clues that are telling us. These are slur marks, which means to play smoothly, and so we know it must be legato or smoothly because of those slur markings. And so now for this last question, we have 10 marks just for copying, and so there's no excuse but to just take our time and get every single one of those 10 marks just for copying. So be careful that you read the question carefully and that you copy out the bit that they ask you to. Don't go and copy the wrong bit. So here it's asking us from the start of bar 1 to the end of bar 4, but it won't always be that. So just make sure you read that bit carefully, exactly as it's written. And they even give us a checklist. Don't forget the clef, the key signature, the time signature, the tempo marking, the dynamics, and all other details. So we can just move the page up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow their bar lines and keep my bars aligned exactly with theirs, and that way I'm going to keep in track and keep everything aligned exactly with theirs, and I'm not going to lose track where I am then. So clef, you can do this in any order you like, just as long as you get everything in that they've asked you to. Key signature, time signature. So now I'm just going to go and get all these note heads in. I like to just get all the nuts and bolts first, and then I'll worry about the details. So I'm just going to get these note heads in first, so then now everything's all nicely placed. Perhaps that's a bit far away, but it'll be okay. And I'm keeping everything reasonably aligned, so I know it's spaced correctly, and I also know I'm not going to run out of space in a bar, and I'm not going to get lost. However, it really doesn't matter how you go about this, so long as you get everything neatly down and don't miss anything out. Just be a bit more generous in my blob there. Okay. By all means, use a ruler. Keep it neat and tidy. Marks are given for neatness and accuracy, so if it's a mess and they can't tell what you're trying to do, you will lose some marks. If they're just copying, that would be a shame to just throw away some marks. So just take your time. So fill in these bits now. Doing this in a bit of an odd order, I think, but never mind. So these are semiquavers. These are semiquavers. So now I'm putting the slur markings in. There we go, bars 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's correct to the end of bar 4. So now I'm going to put the tempo marking here. Adagio, molto, sostenuto. Oops. There we go. And now I want the dynamic markings. So this is forte. Just join that up, tidy that up. And then we have diminuendo marking here. This is piano now. And then we have a crescendo and then diminuendo. And I think that's it. There we go. That's the end of that question, and that's the end of that exam paper. I do hope that's been helpful to you. I hope that it's of benefit to your studies. I hope that you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more to come. Please do go to sharonbale.com and have a look at all the resource and information that's available there to help you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.